Hey guys, what's up? Shao Style again. So after making my video yesterday, and I was talking about how I pretty much find free models on the internet. I import them into Blender. I create an OBJ file. Then I import those files to Element 3D, and then I bought a pack to it has pre-made custom materials that we can click and drag for metal fabrics, wood or whatever and stuff like that. And after making that video, I started thinking, I'm all it's funny because when I was starting to become a content creator or VFX guy or pretty much just any type of creation, whether you want to call it art or work or whatever, I took it somewhat of a personal attack on my own ego that if I had to do everything from scratch, right? Meaning if I wanted to do 3D, I had to create the model myself. If I wanted to create a scene or a model of a person or whatever, I had to create that model by myself from scratch and all that shit, right? And that's pretty much what happened to me when I started to learn Cinema 4D for a year straight. I was very focused on being that kind of a person, which is just create something from scratch, from zero and whatnot. However, someone that I learned to respect is this person. He goes by the name of Beeple. I guess his name is something Winkleman or Mike. Not exactly sure of his name, but the thing with him is that he's been creating custom art from the ground up for 10 years plus, and I just admire that big time. I've been following this guy for over 4 years, I want to say. I don't know, I discovered him on Tumblr, and then I started following him on Instagram and Twitter and all that. But the fact that he's able to create something new, not necessarily from scratch, but I mean something new and original every day, it's just amazing to me. The thing with me is I create a project, and then pretty much based on that project, I'll make some changes. I'll render that out. The next day, I'll make certain little tweaks here and there. Again, I'll render that out. So the project itself kind of morphs in its own thing, different every day, right? But this guy, he just does something new almost every day. So he reached 10 years of doing this, and it became a big thing in the 3D community, right? Pretty much he did a lot of interviews, and he's kind of a private guy, so it was somewhat of a big deal when he came out and started talking in public because most people didn't know what he looked like. And yeah, he's a cool guy. He's funny, right? But pretty much he, talking about his work and pretty much how much time he puts into it and whatnot. He pretty much does buy packets, models, clothes, materials, scenes, buildings. He already buys it, and then pretty much as he's putting it together, he's buying assets. He's putting together assets that he has bought over the years, right? And that's pretty much something I want to talk about. Is something that I guess I learned to appreciate or develop making dailies myself for over a year by now, is that it's not necessarily how you create the thing, it's more of the process or the development of learning or finding a workaround or a work pattern that you find comfortable, that you're able to create what you need to create in a timely manner, right? And in my case, it's basically, using Element 3D, because it's basically real-time results as I'm working in Element 3D in After Effects, right? And then to save me time, I just buy material packs, they cost me $100. They're already pre-made, and I just drop it into the model that I need, and then just make a few adjustments, and that's it, right? It saves me a lot of time. It may seem kind of when you're a kid and you follow a band, and then out of nowhere, they're a small local band, and you're yeah, these guys are cool and this and that, and out of nowhere they become popular and big and famous, and then you're oh, they're fucking sellouts, I don't like them anymore, some stupid shit like that. It's yeah, maybe you yourself do not follow that band anymore, but they're moving on to more bands or more people, a larger audience that still appreciate them and all that stuff, right? So anyways, I guess the point I'm trying to get is that don't worry too much about your own personal ego of oh, I'm an artist, I do everything from scratch. You try to pound your chest, saying I do this, I do that. I mean every now and then it's funny when I read comments and say on Paul's video, when he uploads a video, people they'll make negative comments about how he doesn't edit his own videos anymore, and it's that's so fucking stupid considering how much time it takes to edit a video at times. I do aim to find a way to edit fast. However, the creative side is, finding the right B-roll. If I need to download something off the internet, an image, stuff like that. If I need to create maybe something in Photoshop, all that stuff does take time, and it could take somewhere between 5 to 8 hours or more on a video, depending on it, right? There have been videos that take me maybe just 2 hours, depending on how simple it is, right? But, it does vary. Either way, it does take time. And all in all, what's important is the results, and nobody's going to realize all the work that goes behind it making a video. I've read comments where people, they're oh, that's so cool. You just work 10 minutes on a video, and then you upload it and you get a bunch of views and shit. And dude, I'll go to Paul's house. We work, like a good maybe 6 to 8 hours, whether betting a computer, I'm helping, I'm filming and all that stuff. Get the footage, come home, I start like the video project for the next day. The next day, I'll spend like 5 to 8 hours editing the video. So that's 16 man hours for that one video to upload. And then Paul still has to like go over the video, pretty much has to render it out. Since it's a 4K video, it can take up to like 1 or 2 hours depending on the computer, like to render out that video, right? So it could take up to like almost like 20, 24 hours or whatever just to upload a video, if you combine all the hours that it goes into making that video. And that's not including all the prior time to get ready before we start filming that Paul has to do to write a script and all this shit. So people don't care about how much time or what goes into making a product. They just want to see the results, right? So I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like when I started, like I said, I really wanted to be like, I wanted to have my own personal ego stroke of like, yeah, I do everything from scratch. I know how to do this, how to do that. I mean, it's important to have an understanding how things work. That's true. But again, people don't care about that. They just want to see the results. And like, since I started making like uploads daily, I did develop a work pattern which works for me. And like, it's kind of cool. It's weird. From like the first day of me uploading like content on a daily basis, like to after a year, I can definitely see the improvement. And also like, since I develop a workflow, I'm able to get like an image done in like within an hour or so, right? If I'm like, I have a half a free time, sometimes I spend up to like maybe 2 hours on a image, just messing around, adding colors, doing animation and this and that, right? But for the most part, I try to spend under an hour. And if I'm away from the computer, I found ways to like, take a picture, and then I found a few apps that I do that on my phone. I'm do like some image color correction, some manipulation, add distortion or whatever. Then I'm gonna share from there because I'm not near a computer all the damn time, right? But again, since I have that habit of uploading something new every day to my Instagram or Twitter, I find ways to achieve that. So I guess that's what the point of this video is. Basically, don't get so hung up on the little bits and details on like how to like, get something done. What's important is getting it done, right? And then pretty much like a part of the job, for me at least, is finding ways to like get it done in a manner that like saves you time, you still have good quality, it still improves every day, right? And you're not stagnant, right? Because every image is different. And then like I said, after doing this for a year, it's very cool seeing how a personal style of mine is being developed in front of me, right? Like the certain quality has changed a lot, like certain things that I do like or don't like. It's just, I don't know, it's cool. It's like its own thing. And like, it's something I appreciate about doing dailies now, because I never know exactly what I'm going to end up with. I just start working and like the results are pretty cool. So anyways, that's all I got for this video. I want to try to like keep the ball rolling, start making more videos and stuff like that. Just talking with you. That's all I got for this video. Keep it short. Take care and peace.